Hey, everybody. Welcome again to 5-Minute Interviews. Today, I have with me someone who has helped me in my ministry and our church in so many ways, Dr. Shannon Rains, Children's Ministry Professor at Lubbock Christian University. She is also the author of a website, the Confident KidMin, and I love going to the Confident KidMin and reading what's there. Shannon, thank you for joining us on 5-Minute Interviews.
Yeah, thanks for telling everybody about the website. I would look forward to spending this time with you.
Shannon, what adjustments are we going to have to make to children's ministry in this quarantine era?
Yeah, that's a great question, Chris. There's two things I'm telling ministers to look at: parents, not programs, and intergenerational ministry.
Okay, so tell me about this parents, not programs. What does that mean?
So for a long time, we've really wanted parents to be the spiritual leaders in the home. But a lot of churches have also put into place a whole lot of programs because they want to help kids. And so we really haven't focused on parents the way we should focus on parents. If kids can't go to church, we can't have programs. Now parents, we need them to, oh, I hate to use this word, but we need them to step up. We need them to take ownership of their children's faith because otherwise they're not going to get it at church like they normally would. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying to ministers, parents, not programs. Programs will come back at some point. Parents need equipping.
Okay, so how do we equip those parents? What can we do?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of different ways to equip them. There's sermon series that you could do. There's for children's ministers, they can write notes, they can send text messages, they can provide at-home curriculum, even spiritual Bible studies for the parents, because a healthy spiritual life for the parent is naturally going to help children grow spiritually because then they're exampling this to their children. And often parents don't have the time to really feed themselves spiritually. So even, just focusing on the parents, giving them tools to work on at home, good parenting tools. Let's face it, parents are totally stressed out trying to work from home and take care of their kids and figure out this whole school thing. So anything that we can do to make this easy for them, but make it important for them.
What they tell us on airplanes when they give us the safety instructions that when the cabin depressurizes, you have to put your own oxygen mask on and then you can assist your children. So are we in ministry? Are we equipping the parents to get their own oxygen supply going?
Yeah, that's a great question, because for years we've said we want to equip parents to get their own oxygen supply going to feed their spiritual life, but we also provided a lot of programs in the church and we kind of took that opportunity away from parents. But now our programs are gone. What can we do? And so we really have to focus on our parents and help them have a strong spiritual life, feed them spiritually, encourage them spiritually, and provide tools for them to feed their children spiritually. So, at-home devos or Zoom calls or whatever, those are tools, but parents have to have a healthy spiritual life so that whatever they do is an example to their kids.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Intergenerational ministry. What is that?
Yeah, so that's just kind of one of those big academic terms for we all go into the worship service and we worship together, and it's focused not just on the adults, but also on the, on the youngest children that can understand what we're talking about to, the oldest generation in the room. There's something for all of them. We're all seen as equals in the church community.
Well, that sounds almost biblical.
So when we're in an intergenerational service, we're leading our service in such a way that every generation there is being brought into the service, the worship, and they feel like there's something for them.
Yeah.
But it's not programs, it's leading them to the throne, right? Like it's still leading them into worship, it's leading them to a sermon that encourages them.
And if I remember right, on your website, the Confident KidMin, you've got a guide to intergenerational worship, right?
Yeah, I do, because so many people were calling me and saying, how do we do this? And I actually do research on this with a couple of friends, a couple of colleagues. So Ron Bruner and Jennifer Schroeder and I, this is our passion. We're doing a lot of research with it right now, but I put together some of the things that we've heard, and they're just, I don't know, not a checklist, but a whole lot of different ideas that preachers and worship ministers can take and use.
I want to defuse the academic sense of that term intergenerational ministry, because this isn't a new thing. It's a very ancient biblical thing. And what do we need to do to, we don't have to be experts. We just have to practice this intergenerational ministry, right?
Right, right. So by practicing it, we just do things that we acknowledge that kids are present and also that kids need God and that the Spirit's working within them. Often we're like, how do we even do that in a worship service? But I think about how God created families.
Mm-hmm.
And, just think about the big family reunion that you may have gone to where all the kids and all the adults are running around. There's stuff for everyone. And the kids and the adults may be playing games together, and in a way that can be spiritual even in that location. But if we can do it there at a family reunion, we can do it in the auditorium with
Yeah.
our church family.
So in some ways, every worship service is a family reunion with God where we're
Yeah.
telling the stories that are
Yeah.
that are the family story.
Yeah, because I think one of the most important thing to remember with kids is that they love stories. We think about sitting our kids on our lap and just telling them a story. And when we go to church and we're listening to our preacher, I think, I don't know, I'm not a preacher, but I think a goal that we should have as when we are preaching is to tell the story and
Yeah.
to invite the church into the story so that we can send them out to live God's story. And there's no reason that we can't make church some place that kids can hear that story too. We just have to put a little bit more work in it on it to be able to, say and do things that really interest kids.
I think you're right. Shannon, thank you for this. I'm definitely going to invite you back this season. And folks,
Yep.
check out the Confident KidMin, and I'll put those links up here.